Hey guys, I'm Brian with Hope Drums. Today we're going to take a look at the Roland TD20 module and how to set it up with a Pintech drum kit. Now the TD20 is not much different than our 12 that we've shown you, but a few people have emailed us wanting to know how to make the ride bell a little bit louder, so I'm going to show you how to do that today. Let's take a look at those settings and get you going. We're looking at the face of the Roland TD20. To get to our trigger settings, we're going to press the trigger button. Notice that's going to take us to the trigger bank. We'll zoom in on that. For our kick drum, we're using trigger type TD20. For 12-inch and 14-inch Pintech drums, we're using the PD125. For the 10-inch, I'm using a PD105. My hi-hats are the VH11. My crash cymbals are the CY14C. My ride cymbal is a CY15R. And then I have a single zone Pintech Nimrod or a dingbat as a PD7 as an auxiliary input on 15. Now to get into the other settings, we're going to press F2. That takes us into basic. Okay, we'll look at our kick drum first. Our sensitivity is at 7, so threshold is at 4 with a linear curve. Now press F5 to go to advance. The scan time is at 2.0, re-trigger cancel is 12, mask time is at 14. Now the kick drum is the only drum or only pad on my kit that I leave the mask time turned up. For my snare, my toms, all my cymbals, I set the mask time to 0 because that's originally designed to eliminate double triggering. That's one issue I generally don't have with my snare or my toms or cymbals. On the kick drum, if you're having double triggering issues, the more you increase the mask time, the less likely you are to have double triggering problems. Okay, let's hit exit. It's going to take us back to the basic. Next drum is our snare. The sensitivity is at 7, threshold 2, it's a linear curve. Pressing F5 for advance. The scan time is 2.0, re-trigger cancel is 4. Again, we're pressing exit. Now our next tom is going to be a 10-inch. It's a sensitivity of 6, threshold of 2, it's a linear curve. 2.0 on the scan time, 4 for re-trigger cancel, and again the mask time is set at 0. Tom 3 is actually a 12-inch tom. Okay, sensitivity is 7, threshold 2, it's a linear curve. Again, 2.0 on the scan time, 4 on the re-trigger cancel, and 0 on the mask time. Okay, the next drum we're going to look at is going to be a crash cymbal. For the crash cymbal, I'm using a 16-inch dual zone Visualite, so you'll notice it's chokeable. The sensitivity is set to 4, threshold of 2, it's a linear curve. Scan time is 1.6, re-trigger cancel is 6, and the mask time is at 0. The next cymbal we're going to look at is our ride cymbal. The sensitivity is set at 8, the threshold at 0, it's a linear curve. Okay, go into advance, the scan time is 1.6, re-trigger cancel is 6, and the mask time is 0. Now one thing to point out, this is a dual zone ride that I'm using instead of the 3 zone. So what I want to do is press F3 to go to 3-way, and you'll notice where it says 3-way trigger, that is selected as being off. What that does is for input number 11, instead of it being an edge now, it's going to recognize that as an additional input where you can plug in a drum or an additional cymbal. If you're using a 3-zone ride, then you'll want to leave that on, of course. Now I'm going to go to F2 for the rim. Now you'll notice the rim gain is set at 2.0. You can go a little higher depending on how loud of a bell sound that you like. The rim gain is going to control your bell. And the higher you increase that, the less effort it takes to get a bell sound. So we'll bump that up, just bump it up to 3 just to take a look. Then you get a real loud, definite bell sound. And there's no right or wrong setting for that. You just set that to your playing preference. If you like a definite loud bell every time, just increase the rim gain. The next pad we're going to look at is our hi-hat. Notice it's set as a VH11. The sensitivity is 10. Threshold is 6. It's a linear curve. I'm going to press F5 for advance. Scan time is 1.6. Retrigger cancel is 3. The mask time is 0. Okay, I'm going to exit out of that. And I'm going to hit F3 for hi-hat. Now you'll notice over here this little meter. And as I press and depress the pedal, you'll notice that goes up and down. When you select the VH11, that'll give you that wide range that you're looking for, from closed to fully open and your in-between sounds with the Pintech controller. Now the cymbals I'm using are a Visualite hi-hat with the new in-between controller. Now what I'm going to do is turn off my microphone so that you're not hearing the stick noise from the cymbal, so I can show you how the variance in the sound when I open and close the hi-hat sounds like. Now one thing to point out on the foot splash sensitivity, I did increase that to 10. I believe it was set at 8. 10 is the highest you can go, and that gives you the most reliable foot splash sound. Hopefully you noticed as I was messing with the hi-hat tapping, you saw that little notch going up and down. That indicates that the module is tracking whether the hi-hat cymbal is open, halfway closed, fully closed, etc. Last but not least, no kit is complete without the cowbell, so we're going to take a look at the trigger setting for a single zone bar type trigger. I'll be using a 6-inch Nimrod. Okay, I'm going to press F2 to get back to basic. Notice I have the trigger type as a PD7. Sensitivity of 8, threshold of 2, it's a linear curve. F5 for advance. Scan time of 1.2, retrigger cancel of 2, and a mask time of 0. Now to save all of my settings, all I'm going to do is press the kit button, and we're ready to start playing. Quick and easy, that sums it up for setting up the TD20. If you do have any questions, please join us on Pintech's forum. You can access it through their website. We'd love to hear from you. Until then, take care and keep drumming.